Hello, everybody. Today I'm starting a new series amongst our other two series we have going on. We have our main movie review one that we haven't really done a lot of movie reviews as of late, mainly because of Dean's schedule. He doesn't have a lot of time to go and sit down and do movie reviews, but fear not, because we have a couple of them lined up to come out within the next couple of weeks. So we actually have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out for movies and whatnot. And then obviously our interview series, the Within the Barrens, which has pretty much been our main one for quite a while. So the one that I am bringing to you today is one that I wanted to kind of do on my own and kind of bring in some other guests every now and then. And Dean will be a part of this when he can, because of what we are doing. He's not able to really see a lot of the films that I'm going to be talking about because he unfortunately doesn't have ScreamBox in the UK yet. The only way he can watch these movies is if they were released in his area, in other regions, or if it's a movie that we're going to be reviewing or one that we've already reviewed due to screeners and whatnot from ScreamBox. We have to always give them a huge shout out for, helping us out, or letting us help them out. I've actually, kind of given them some new podcasts and folks to help promote their site a lot, and there might be some really, really cool things coming down the line from ScreamBox X, the Barrens Hideout podcast. There might be some cool stuff happening. I'm planning on maybe trying to do some giveaways and stuff like that. Everything I'm saying is still kind of in the works and, being thought out and planned because they are still a baby streaming service. So what I'm going to be doing today is to highlight some of the movies that you should watch once you sign up. Because ScreamBox has been great. They are a great service. Everybody knows that we love Shudder over here as well, and the folks over at ScreamBox also love Shudder. And we always have to remember that competition of any kind like this, especially when it's streaming services doing the exact same thing, they're both horror oriented. We have to, support both of them because competition is great. It brings fresh ideas, new things for people to see that they wouldn't be able to see on a different platform because, copyright and people being able to pay for some movies and whatnot. So this series, I don't know if I'm going to stick to this title yet. I think it sounds kind of good. I want to run it by the officials over there at ScreamBox so they're not going to be getting confused when they see my title. But it's going to be ScreamBox Essential Picks, and it's just going to be highlighting two movies on their service that you can watch as soon as you sign up, because I think this would be a really cool way for when people are asking, oh, what should I go and watch, what should I go and see, I just got ScreamBox, so I'm confused as to what I should be watching because there's so much stuff on there, because every month they're adding like 10 plus titles. It's crazy. It's very daunting, especially when you're coming over from Shudder. Shudder's been kind of going through not really a dry spell, but they have been slowing down on the amount of things that are coming out in a month. So on Shudder right now, it's a little bit easier to get caught up and, go and pick out what you want. As a ScreamBox, there's so much, and it's a good thing that there's so much stuff, because when you sign up, you want to watch everything. So I figured every week, or maybe even twice a week, we'll see how this plays out. I want to highlight two films that you should watch. Obviously, I have watched these, I've vetted these, I have made sure that these are ones that you should go and see because A, they're weird, or B, there might be something that you haven't seen before, or it's a change of pace, or it's something familiar that would make you want to go and watch these films because it's like, oh, I've kind of seen that before, but this is a different way of them doing it. So I wanted to talk about two today. And the two that we're talking about is Homebound from 2021 and Bedeviled from 2016, I'm pretty sure. Once we get to the actual segments of these films, I'll let you guys know the exact year that they came out. But the purpose of this is to not fully dissect a movie. I'm not going to go over here and fully review it. It's to highlight why you should go and see this, why I'm picking this, and why I think it's a good movie for you to see. And if you have seen these already, then that's absolutely awesome. Make sure that you're spreading the words to everybody else. But the first one that I'm going to talk about is Homebound, because this is a psychological thriller and horror. It is a slow burn. I have a couple of notes over here. So I have it right here. Slow burn. It's eerie, psychological, and it's pretty short. It's an hour and like 11 minutes, but it goes by really, really fast, regardless of it being a slow burn. So for those of you who are out there that love slow burn movies, this is for you. And especially if you are someone like me who doesn't like creepy kids and horror movies, this is definitely one for you. And this is the plot of it. It's a trip to the countryside turns out to be far more from idyllic for a father and his new fiance when his kids decide the house is a little too crowded. It's really good. It was one that I put on yesterday or the day before, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's directed by Sebastian Goodwin, also written by him. I'm not really going to go through too much of the cast unless you guys want me to do that. But I think we'll leave it as that. I want to keep everything as short as sweet as possible. So let's go to what it's rated on IMDb. And I'm going to go and say this, that ratings don't keep me from watching a film. Even people having certain views about a film doesn't really keep me from watching it, because I want to see it from my own eyes. I want to judge it by my own personal feelings about a film, you know. But rest assured, this is a pretty good film. It's all shot in one location. It's very, very short. Like I said, it's less than the 90-minute mark. So IMDb has scored it a 4.4 out of 10, but that's only 727 reviews. So it's not bad, at all. So then when we go over to Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter for critics is 70%. So that's actually pretty damn good for a movie like this. Usually critics kind of bash on slow burn movies or things that are like this, but you know what, they gave it a 70. The audience gave it a 24%, but that's less than 50 reviews. And for the tomato meter, there's only 20 reviews for this film. So critics 20 and audience is less than 50. So there's not a lot of people watching this film, and that's why I thought this was a really good one to kind of highlight. So I can go over when it was released and if it has a budget and stuff like that. So it was released in theaters May 13th, 2022, limited, and then streaming May 13th, 2022. So it's weird that it says it's a 2022 movie, because everywhere else I see it says 2021. But then again, a lot of that I don't really take with a grain of salt or anything like that, is because pandemic really ruined a lot of things. But yeah, so that's Homebound, and why I think you should watch this is because of how eerie it is, and how, you know, really good the acting is for this. I enjoyed it a lot. And there was a few things in it where I was like, man, I fucking hate this person, but then you kind of like them. Like they make you go back and forth between like the father, like, oh, should we like him? Should I hate him? Or anything like that. It's a really good movie. It's like I said, it's grounded in pretty much one space. It's in a house and a little bit of that surrounding area. And it's 2 adults and 3 kids. And there's a twist at the end where you kind of already know from like the beginning of it. You kind of already know like what's going on. But I don't really take points off for when you know something is there, because the rest of the movie kind of holds itself together. And want to watch it. Like, I was intrigued through the whole thing. Like, I didn't hit pause or anything throughout this film. I do like slow burn movies, especially if they're executed correctly. And this one was pretty damn good. So I will say, go check this one out when you sign up, or if you're already on ScreamBox, go check this one out if you haven't already. And also, don't get confused by the movie Housebound. This is Homebound. So it's kind of similar, but they have two different like topics and two different things that are going on in the film. So this one's Homebound that I'm talking about, not Housebound, even though I do recommend Housebound as well. But moving on to our second one, which I just watched this one last night, and it's actually been on my watch list for about a month. And I just figured, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to go and watch it. I'm going to see how I feel about it. Because going into it, I was like, oh, this looks like something I've seen before. And even like when you read the synopsis and stuff like that, you're like, oh, okay, this sounds pretty damn familiar. But the cover really made me more intrigued, because I like things that look goofy. You know, it looks kind of goofy by the cover. It has a sort of a serious tone to it. But this one is Bedeviled, from 2016. And the plot, very, very short, is 5 friends are terrorized by a supernatural entity after downloading a mysterious app. So it's very grounded in sort of real world situations and stuff like that. It plays fun at a lot of social media stuff, and, you know, tackling, you know, stupid things that people do online and whatnot. And this also kind of like reminded me, if anybody remembers, like the killer video game movie, Stay Alive, which that one was really, really cheesy, but I enjoyed that film a lot. It was kind of giving me like those vibes when I was watching this, and I didn't think that was a negative thing at all, because I enjoyed Stay Alive. So this was actually directed by the Vang brothers, who's Abel Vang and Burle Vang. So it was a team that made it, and it's pretty damn fun. It's focusing on teenagers. It's set in high school, and it has some pretty fun elements to it. Some are predictable, and like I said, this is a movie that feels kind of familiar. Like you think like, oh, I've seen movies like that. Like I was thinking, oh, is this gonna be like a Saw thing? Because, you know, like terrorizing, they're gonna be going through things. So I was thinking, is it gonna be like a Saw type of movie or something along the lines like that? But IMDb, they gave it a 4.2 out of 10, and that's about 3,400 reviews. So that's not awful. IMDb scores are very weird. Sometimes they're very, very on the nose, and sometimes they aren't. But let's go over to Rotten Tomatoes. And this is when I know a lot of people haven't seen this movie. It's probably because the marketing wasn't there, or it just went straight to streaming or anything like that. But the critic score is a 0% because there's only 5 reviews. And the audience score is a 21% with 100+ reviews. I enjoyed this film. It was stupid. It was really stupid, but I like movies that allow me to shut off my brain and not really think about plot or anything like that. I just wanted to see what was going to happen to these kids, you know, and how it was going to end in the end. And it was predictable. It was very predictable. But like I said, I don't really take points off for things being predictable. Let's go down to the stats. So it was released in theaters August 11th, 2027. 17, sorry. I'm really tired today, guys. Just leave me alone. So August 11th, 2017. And then it went to streaming September 26th, 2017. So yeah, well, this is pre-pandemic, but I think it may have been, I don't know, in different locations, you know, in the world that gets released earlier or later. It doesn't really specify which area this is being released in. The runtime is 1 hour and 31 minutes, so it's right at that 90-minute mark. But this movie goes by pretty quick as well. It's pretty funny. There's a lot of funny moments in it. The acting is really good, especially by the bedeviled character. Really, really cool. It gives you a lot of like Joker vibes and stuff like that. Crazy, crazy, like off the leash acting and whatnot. It's really funny and it's really, really self aware. And I like that. I like that a lot. So between these two movies, if I had to pick one that I would choose over another, it would probably be Bedeviled, just because of how off the walls it was. But also, I really, really like Homebound. So please, when you guys are on ScreamBox, or if you're thinking about signing up to ScreamBox, check these two movies out. On top of all the other movies that they are putting out that are exclusive that we have covered, make sure you go watch those as well. But this is a really fun series. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to be putting out a week. I don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2. But like I said, there will be other people coming on. These are going to be very, 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 very short. We're not going into a lot of detail about the movies. It's just things I wanted to highlight that you should go and watch. So keep an eye out for special guests, and maybe one of your favorite movies will be on this list. And also put submissions. Let me know. If there's one you want me to highlight so other people can see, let me know. Tell me. I'm browsing and watching movies on ScreamBox all the time. I have a list of all the ones right here that I'm going to be doing. I don't know when I'm going to be recording it. I don't know if I'm going to be recording this kind of back to back, just to kind of bank some. But yeah, this is going to be super duper fun. Hopefully you guys really like it. Like I said, this is probably going to stay being called ScreamBox Essential Picks. I might even have some of the staff come and tell me what I should highlight and talk about, or maybe I'll have some of the staff on. Who knows? I'm going to try to keep these short, probably between like 15 and 25 minutes. I think that's a pretty good runtime for little short episodes, mini episodes, really. So thank you guys so much for supporting us. I know that we took a little bit of a break, but we're going to be coming back full swing. So stay tuned, everybody. And continue watching horror, support ScreamBox, support all the other creators out there who are doing horror podcasts and horror shows and stuff like that. We want us to be supporting each other, and go check out these films so that way we can give the actors, the directors, and everybody who's involved on these films a little bit more of a light. All right. And we'll catch everybody on the next one. We have some very exciting stuff coming out this week. And we'll see you all next time. Stay spooky.